up, Sauce Gang, and welcome back to the channel. Hot Sauce Beats here with another Skibidi toilet reaction because Isotoilet just dropped their Skibidi Toilet 65 analysis and theory. And fam, this one looks like it could be a little controversial because this one is titled G-Man Never Existed. Now, I don't think the majority of us think that we think it's just a decoy and it was a fake G-Man for the trap that I was calling out for a week. But Isotoilet picks up on a lot of stuff that I missed, so I'm super stoked to see this theory and see what kind of points they bring to this argument. But before we jump into this, can you show Isotoilet some love by subscribing to their channel? And if you enjoy my reaction, please smash that subscribe button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. But enough talking, let's get to reacting and roll that bomb-ass intro.
Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats.
Hot Sauce Beats. Woo, woo. Ooh, what you got, Iso? What you got?
Hey everyone, Dafook has been working on a new episode for almost a week and it's finally out. This is something incredible, my friends. In this video, I'll show you all the secrets and Easter eggs of episode 65. We'll talk about G-Man. Has he always been a robot? Will he or one of his clones return in the new episodes? Why did the scientist betray him? We'll also discuss the Titans.
Betrayed.
What they lost.
Again, it was all a trap. He got out. You saw all the Skibidis left because there's a trap. The decoy G-Man, you know what I mean? They blew him up. It was just, yeah, he didn't betray him.
In combat and how they'll be improved soon. Also, have you seen the secret agent's appearance? We will discuss so many secrets, theories, and hidden moments in this analysis. Get your tea and snacks ready and watch to the end so you don't miss the best part.
Tea and crumpets, baby!
At the very beginning, we see these agents being attacked by Skibidi policemen. Remember in episode 61, we saw them with Speaker Woman. And by the color of the shirt, the POV cameraman is this same agent again. I recall that we saw him in episode 43 as well as earlier episodes, but I've talked a lot about this agent in past videos. Now let's get back to the analysis. The cop didn't destroy him even though he had 2 more loaded spears. I think this is again needed to scare the Alliance.
I think he did that so, because again, there's this underlining theory of whoever the POV is for the episode gets saved and allowed to live so we can see what's going on. It's breaking that fourth wall.
As we remember, the scientists can see what's going on with the cameramen via TV Man streaming. Skibidi Scientist Squad also left one of the cameramen alive on purpose, so he could see everything that was going on in episode 62.
Yep.
Of course, the Skibidi knew there was a trap for the Titans and wanted the entire Alliance to see them destroyed. Notice that there's no blood on the cameraman. His torso is wounded and there's only sparks around him, like he's a robot. I can't quite figure out why some of them have blood and some of them don't.
I don't know if
it
there's
looks like
anything
is keeping
behind
both
that.
options to himself in case he reveals to us how the agents are
sometimes
constructed.
it happens, sometimes
like I said,
it doesn't.
the action takes place in the same location as episode 60. We see the same hangars from a different angle. These agents at the beginning of the episode were on this building or somewhere close to it. I think Skibidi's base is far away from this place. They wouldn't have lured the Titans close to the base because it's dangerous. It's also unlikely they'd blow up gas and acid on their own territory. Let's take a look at Skibidi Toilet's new inventions. We've never seen a flying Skibidi cop before, as well as his spear-firing cannons. The Strider now has improved armored legs. We've already seen these cannons on one of the Striders in episode 51, as well as the heavily armored toilet. Skibidi with circular saws looks very even useless, since it is a trap for Titans.
Right.
There are a lot of different Skibidis here, but they can't do any damage to Titans at all. We've already seen how Speakerman was attacked by rockets.
Oh my God, I thought he was done.
Can easily deal with a crowd of small
I thought he was done.
They're all just necessary to make G-Man believe in everything that's going on. Yes, like I said, at the end of episode 64, the Titans flew after...
No, it's not to make G-Man believe what's going on. It's to make the Titans believe that they're coming to a battle and not a trap.
G-Man. Yes, he lured them into a trap, but he didn't seem to know what kind of trap it would be. You'd be surprised, but leaving G-Man here alone was necessary. Keep watching the video and you'll see why.
Now, I will say, maybe fake G-Man, I never thought of this, maybe fake G-Man didn't know that he was gonna die. That could be it too. And maybe that's why he had that shocked face. Now, I think the rest of the Skibidis being there wasn't for fake G-Man, it was for Titans to believe that they were literally coming to a battle.
The Titans are coming from the direction
I
of
never
the city,
thought about that. I
and
never
think
thought
I
that
know
maybe
what kind of
fake
city it
G-Man
is.
was set up too.
Remember in episode 64, there was this yellow fog all around. I didn't pay much attention to it at the time, but apparently the Titans were near this airport. This means that the new episode takes place right after the end of the previous one.
Yeah.
Notice
for
that
sure.
Titan activated his core defenses, but didn't hide his shoulder cameras. I say this because in episode 57 he did. All the Skibidi toilets run away. Apparently everyone except G-Man knew about this plan. It's a wonder to me why they agreed to betray him since he was a leader to them. Maybe Skibidi scientists confused them all. Maybe he gave everyone the command retreat, except G-Man. But
I'm just gonna. It seems like Isotoilet doesn't think that this is fake G-Man. Or it seems like Isotoilet doesn't think that there's a real G-Man and a fake G-Man, and that just fake G-Man was a decoy, right? Isn't that, by him saying that, that's what it made it.
But the Skibidi didn't know that G-Man would stay. They also didn't see this gesture, and they were running away. Probably the scientist had told G-Man about another plan earlier, so he alone was left standing in confusion. But he definitely realized that he had been deceived and betrayed. Yes, G-Man could have run away with the others, but out of desperation, he decided to join the fight. By the way, it's possible that the scientist teleported because of the speakers from Cinemamon's chest. For some reason, the rest of the Skibidi didn't teleport and started running away. I guess not all of them have this ability. Okay, what about the laser eyes? We haven't seen this ability since episode 47, but now it's reappeared. Okay, note how rugged the G-Man toilet is. Titan Speakerman fires a series of cannon shots at him, but he doesn't care. The shot from Cameraman's new cannon seems very weak. It just breaks the headphones on G-Man's head. Notice that no one besides G-Man has headphones. Also, these guys are giving Jimmy the stink eye. Apparently, they knew it was a trap for him and did it on purpose. Maybe the scientist told everyone that G-Toilet was a traitor and needed to be punished. I don't know, but there's some...
Yeah, dude, Isotoilet is definitely, the way that Isotoilet's talking, thinks that this G-Man has been the G-Man the whole time. I don't think any of us really think that. I think we think that there is an actual G-Man, and that this, again, was just a fake decoy G-Man for the trap, so both Titans would fight him so they could drop the bombs on the Titans and the fake G-Man. I don't think that this fake G-Man has been G-Man the whole time and that there's never been a G-Man. 100% there's another G-Man.
Something the scientist didn't tell anyone. I think you can guess what I'm talking about. But we'll discuss that later. Remember these leaked pictures from Discord and the Creekcraft stream?
Yeah,
For some reason, G-Man doesn't have any front armor on them. Apparently, over time, Dafuk decided to change some of the details of the battle. Notice how Speakerman tries to stun G-Man, but he doesn't care. It's all because of that device in Skibidi's ear. When Speakerman raises the lever, G-Man pretends for a while that he's about to be flushed, but immediately headbutts Cameraman. Remember in episode 22 when they tried to flush him too? Back then it looked like he was fighting back. Now he doesn't care. Flushing G-Man is impossible because he's not a Skibidi toilet at all.
Like flush,
he's
flush,
half
flush,
robot.
flush, flush, flush.
I'm surprised he even has that flush lever, because at the end of episode 22, it went inside the cistern. Maybe this clone hasn't been flushed yet. Oops, I can't wait to tell you about this. We'll discuss it further. Speakerman can't believe the flush doesn't work, and pulls the lever in hopes of destroying Jimmy. And this moment seems to be a reference to episode 47, where Titan TV Man defended himself the same way after being wounded. Titan Cameraman makes two powerful blows with his hammer and breaks G-Man's armor and laser. But here's where he broke his jetpack too. All that's left is a single turbine. But for some reason, G-Man didn't start tilting to one side. He was still hanging in the air the same way. Remember how he took off in episode 17 when he didn't have a jetpack? Apparently he can fly on his own, and the jetpack is needed just for speed. Did you notice the cameraman's retractable brass knuckles? There was nothing on his glove right there. That's why we see blood during the battle, which means that G-Man's shell is made of skin and muscle, just like the real live Skibidi. This is the moment where Titan fired the cannon up close, but did no damage at all. Apparently the new cannon was weaker than the previous one. But apparently Titan Cameraman will be getting new upgrades and repairs. And here it is again, a reference to episode 47. Only then the infected Titan attacked G-Man's opponent in this way, and now he did it to him. And of course we see the electricity discharges because G-Man turned out to be a cyborg. And the final attack? Titan fires a flame from his core and fries G-Man to a crisp with the last of his strength.
S'more.
Notice how
Like
he shakes
campfire.
at the end, like he took a deep breath out. And that's the part where I just sat there and watched the whole scene with my mouth open.
Same.
G-Man was just a
Same.
puppet being controlled by another Skibidi the whole time.
No. Now again, these are all theories, so we don't even know who's right or wrong, but no. There is still a G-Man. This was a fake decoy G-Man set up for the trap because the bombs are coming. So it's like a fake kamikaze G-Man.
And now it's time to talk about the best part. Was G-Man ever alive? And does he have any other clones? First off, the laser eye technology looks very unrealistic. I mean, it's almost impossible to do with a normal living eye. That said, as we noticed earlier,
course.
the first version of
Only
G-Man was
Superman
more
can do it.
vulnerable. The flush lever worked, and he had to fight back. Here, the cistern looks like a nothing. Remember how G-Man was always moving his eyebrows really weird? It's all because of these things. Yeah, he had a separate eyebrow mechanism for some reason. We've seen 3 versions of the G-Toilet in total. The first one was the normal one from the beginning. He just had laser eyes and a regular toilet. The second version appeared in episode 38 with a new toilet. Notice that there's this stand here. It wasn't there before. Also, the second version had the old laser cannons, like the soldier from episode 32. Yes, there were only 2 cannons, but otherwise this version is the same as the new episode. Also, in episode 47, we see G-Man already with new lasers. Maybe this is the third version. Maybe the previous versions were improved, I can't know for sure.
I think we've always seen the same G-Man until episode 64. I think 64 is when we saw, so last episode is when we saw the decoy and he flew away smiling when the bomb Skibidi went off. And then he flew back to the base, bringing the Titans to this one, 65. I think before 64, it was always real G-Man, and then 64 and 65 is fake decoy G-Man.
Sure. But now I'll show you other details besides the flush. In episode 49, we see G-Man with new guns. Apparently, this is the third version too. Before episode 57, he disappears, but then he shows up with an extra pair of new lasers. Remember when Titan fried G-Man with the core back then? For some reason, he wasn't destroyed by it that time. Though maybe it just wasn't enough time to fry him. Then he wasn't affected by the hypno guns, so he was just a robot. Apparently they affect the eyes or the brain, but here it's just a robotic shell. They also didn't work on the Skibidi skull in episode 55. But Camera Woman's darts were able to paralyze his face. And whoever was controlling him on the inside was not paralyzed and flew away. Okay, why in episode 60 do we see G-Man with old guns? And here I have one suggestion. Remember how in episode 57 he flew up and just stared at the Titans even though his lasers were loaded? What if they were disabled after the hammer hit? What if G-Man was aiming and trying to attack Cameraman but the lasers weren't working? Then there was only one G-Man, and he was always a robot. He was created as an artificial leader for the living Skibidi toilets.
Think so.
G-Man was specially made strong and invincible so that others would obey him. Then he was improved with armor, lasers, and other things. In episode 47, his laser eyes broke, and he was given extra lasers instead. In episode 57, the new versions of the lasers were broken, and G-Man got the old versions. His shell consists of skin and muscles like a living Skibidi, so it can be paralyzed and has blood in it. However, G-Man himself is controlled by another Skibidi, so he can't be paralyzed with a hypno gun. Before the improvements, his cistern worked, and he had to fight back, but then it was disabled somehow. Before, G-Toilet was needed as a small boss to control Skibidi. But now the scientist wanted to be the boss on his own. He made himself bigger and stronger than G-Man and made G-Man look like a traitor. Remember in episode 60, the scientist didn't let the Isotoilets attack G-Man? He didn't want to save him, not at all. It's just because there were a lot of toilets around, they would have seen that G-Man was a puppet, probably created by the scientist. He couldn't let that happen, so he came up with another way. This time, the scientist told everyone that G-Man was a traitor, probably because he gave the infected Titan to the Alliance. But he couldn't make everyone see his real face, so he left him alone. But to make sure no one would see the wreckage later, the scientist sent barrels of gas and acid at the Titans and G-Man. After the poison, there would be nothing left of G-Man. This plan worked out brilliantly. The scientist was able to eliminate the G-Man he didn't want, keep the secret that he had been controlling him all along, and also hurt the Titans badly, and weaken the Alliance. What can I say? The scientist turned out to be a true genius. There may be other bosses besides him. We don't know that.
All a plan
but for
to
now,
trap.
Skibidi the scientist is the biggest and apparently the most important toilet of them all.
That I agree with.
Okay, let's get back to the Titans. Unfortunately, Cameraman didn't have time to jump back from the approaching kamikazes and took the hit on his shield. Speakerman proved to be more agile and dodged the attack while still being wounded. POV Cameraman was standing far away from them, but he was still thrown back by the shockwave. He was standing on one of these buildings, apparently. By the way, did you notice the secret agent? It's Dafuk again. Like I said, he'll be watching the Titans in the new episode.
Super sneaky, dude.
It turns out he's not helping either side. He's just leaving clues for the viewers. The trap was planned very well. This Skibidi had barrels of acid to damage the Titan cameraman. Ever since episode 55, the Skibidis realized that this is Titan's weak spot. The neighboring pilot had gas barrels to make the explosion bigger, and the 3 planes had warheads on the nose to make sure it all exploded. Also, all this was done when Cameraman used up all the core energy to destroy G-Man. Luckily, Titan survived thanks to his shield, but his arm is destroyed. Also, there is a crack on his main camera. His core and guns are sparking, and there is a lot of acid on his shoulders. Apparently, he will be rebuilt and improved again in the lab. Titan gives thumbs up because he survived and defeated G-Man. And just so you don't forget to like this video, but then he turns his thumb down, so Titan realizes how badly he's injured. Yes, now the Alliance is in big trouble. The last hope is for a recovered Cinema Man. But you'll find out more about that in the new episodes. I hope you are subscribed to my Instagram because there I communicate with subscribers and show secrets before the video is released on YouTube. Also, all my fans communicate in the Discord server. There are a lot of interesting things. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new episode analysis. That was me, ISOTOILET. See ya, my friends.
ISOTOILET, out! Boo! All right, let me bring you in, fam. So, even though I do not agree with ISOTOILET's theory on this, I do appreciate it because it's just like when we get into FNAF lore and theories, we need opposing theories and different theories because he does bring up something that I never even thought about, that essentially G-Man was fake the whole time and just, you know, a fake leader to run the Skibidi toilet crew. But yeah, no, I think it was all 100% a trap. They made fake G-Man a decoy so they could get the Titans in one spot fighting G-Man to drop the nukes on them to hopefully blow up the Titans and not care about G-Man. But I do agree the fake G-Man maybe was never even in it because he didn't want to like be a kamikaze thing, even though I think there are kamikaze Skibidis, so I don't think he'd care. But yeah, I don't think that was the actual G-Man the whole time and that he was just fake. I think there is G-Man who wasn't there, and when Scientist Skibidi teleported, he probably teleported to G-Man, and that was the plan the whole time. Because again, it was a trap. I think the first time we saw fake G-Man was in 64, so 63 and prior was real G-Man. But regardless, so I love it because this is how we develop actual theories on lore. Is we get different points of view and then we develop a theory. So I love this. Let me know what you guys think, and if you got any other Easter eggs, or if you thought this was crazy, or if you loved it. But let me know in the comments, and make sure you show ISOTOILET some love by subscribing to their channel. If you enjoy my reaction, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free, and it greatly helps out the channel. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, as you sleep and make beats, and as usual, we kind of want to know. That's all I got. Boom, I'm out. Got my love for the Sauce Gang. Peace.